Hello, Nicola. Good morning.
Good morning. Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm really good, thank you. Sun's shining. It's a little
I
bit
know.
chilly, but it's
I was just telling everyone, Nicola, that we're going to do something a little bit different this morning and just show a couple of sort of head massage techniques each. And then what we'll do is we'll answer questions because I know that there already are loads of questions. So guys, pop your questions up and we'll go through those and make it a bit of a sort of Q&A session today. Because like we said last week, I mean, we could talk for hours, couldn't we?
I
We
know,
really
hours and
could.
hours. It's
I
lovely.
know.
I have these are great sessions, and it's really good
Yeah.
that we're starting to do it more frequently because I think it's much needed, and you impart so much wisdom, and I think together we managed to get covered a lot of the questions that are answered. So it's nice. Thank you
We
for
do.
inviting me this morning.
Oh, well, thank you for being here and thank you for having me on your channel last week. And same with you, you know, you've got so much wisdom, so much experience. And what we say is so aligned, but it's so nice because we come from sort of different backgrounds, but with the
Yeah.
same sort of vision and aim to sort of hopefully help people. So yeah,
Yes.
it's really lovely.
Yeah.
So should we get started, guys? Maybe I'll just show a couple of sort of head massage techniques which we use quite a lot with face yoga, and actually the head area is often forgotten when it comes to the face. And if you look back a lot, particularly in a lot of Eastern traditions, I know a lot in shiatsu and Japanese traditions, the head area in particular, when it comes to anti-aging, I hate that word by the way, but when it comes to anti-aging, the head is used a lot, and head massage is incredibly important when we're looking to lift the face and improve the skin. And I think it's easy just to think, oh, well, head massage is just relaxation. And I mean, just relaxation is great, but in terms of aesthetics, it can really help the face as well. So never forget the head when it comes to massage. And I'm sure when you work with your clients, you're working the head area as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We work all the way up into the top of the scalp. Sometimes my clients don't want it because they've just had their hair done or they're going out afterwards or whatever. But if I
Yeah.
can, then I will get right up into the crown chakra and right up into the top of the head, because the scalp, when you stimulate the scalp, you're also helping with the hair follicles and hair growth and healthy hair. But remembering that everything is connected, so our muscle tissue doesn't just stop here at the hairline. It
Yeah.
goes all the way up. So, you know, it's like when you tie a tight pony, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
hi,
Everything
10 years younger
lifts.
me. So just think about stimulating the scalp. And yes, and obviously then there's more blood circulating, so nutrients and oxygen into this area here, which you're right, sometimes gets forgotten a little bit. So there's lots and lots of tips we can go through
Yes,
today.
so many. So one of the ones I really love, just to get the energy flowing for the head area, just to make little sort of fists. And what we simply do is we just pummel down our skull area. So it's super simple, but it just feels so good. And if you feel sort of your head feels quite full, or you just want to sort of boost the energy, you can go right down the back there as well. This is so nice to do. And even just once, as we've done it there, is fine. And then you can start from the front again. And I'm just going a little bit further back, and straight away, everything just feels so much sort of lighter on that area. And sometimes I even sort of take it down a little bit. I know this is not the head, but it's all connected, you know, we're just doing a little bit, or we can even go down here, and just that pummeling of that whole area. You can get sort of right into the head. And don't worry, guys, too much about direction with this. It's just getting the circulation going. It's just getting the sort of energy moving. We can often get too tied up on exact technique when it comes to this type of thing, but actually I really just being quite intuitive with it. It works beautifully. So that's a really lovely one that I like doing quite regularly, and hopefully straight away you feel that your energy has lifted there. And there's a really lovely acupressure point again, which we use a lot in face yoga and yoga. And usually to find it, you just do 2 finger points from your hairline. Everyone's hairline is obviously different, but usually there's a point there which is quite tender for many people, and you just simply press that. And what you can even do is just close your eyes and just focus on your breath a little bit and really just tune into that point. And pressure here is up to you. So if you feel you want to go a bit deeper, go a bit deeper. If you want to ease off a bit, if it's very tender, do that. And you can just massage as well in little circular actions. This is a great one if you feel a headache coming on. It's a great one, again, if you feel that you're very much sort of in your head and you just want to sort of just get a bit of that stress out the head, and you can just massage the other way. So again, these sort of very gentle acupressure points are often just pushed to one side for sort of stronger, deeper techniques, but they are so powerful. And that one is particularly good if you are in the middle of a headache as well. But again, be intuitive with pressure. Sometimes even just a very light touch or just a very light tap is enough for that one. So they're two that I really like. And actually, I don't know if you've got your little, have you got your little Jade Comb on you? If you haven't, don't worry, you can just use fingers. If not, no.
Use my fingers. I think it's in my kit, my body.
Don't worry, but this is another lovely one I do. So just working here along the head. So this Jade Comb, guys, it's a Hey You one, and you can get it. You just can go to the link in my bio and just click shop and it's there. But this is so nice. And I do this actually in the shower. I find it's a good time to do it. While my conditioners are on, I just do that, and just doing these sort of little strokes just wakes everything up. And then I'll often do right at the back there as well, so I'll turn around to show you, just sort of waking up that area. But like you're doing there, Nicola, you know, doing it with the fingers as well, and even just the stroking through is just beautiful. You know, again, it's just how can we be quite intuitive with that, just stroking of that air. And it doesn't matter if you haven't got long hair, you know, just do it on the scalp area. Maybe I'll let you take over from here, Nicola, while we're on the scalp, because I'm sure you've got lots of lovely ones that work deep into the scalp.
I do. I mean, I've got the scalp one. Yes, it's very similar to that. And actually what I also do is I do very similar to you, but I'll do a very kind of quick, using fingertips and tap, 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 tap. And you can actually go quite strong on the scalp as well. And this, again, it's the same thing as what you were speaking about earlier. It starts to awaken the system, awaken the blood vessels, awaken the hair follicles. And actually you can start feeling a little bit of vibration, a little bit of energy around the head space, and taking that down onto the shoulders. Really lovely awakening process in the morning as well. And if we've slept quite badly, that will affect not just the shoulders, but all the way up into the head. As we explained earlier, everything is connected. So just by starting in the morning with those little tapping moves, waking up, waking your system up, and then getting right on more pressure up onto the head. And that actually kind of doubles up with what you're doing as well, because you can get that little point there, that pressure point. So we're very similar again in our ways, but it's nice to kind of just swap it around slightly and have variations on what we're doing. So that's one that I do. And then when we look at the scalp for a massage, because again, if we get a bit heavy-headed in the middle of the day, if we've been screens or whatever we're doing, doesn't matter what we're doing, but we tend to find by about 3 o'clock in the afternoon our shoulders are up here. That creates a lot of tension in the muscles from the shoulders through the neck and up to the top of the head as well, which obviously incorporates all of these muscles, so you get heaviness. So a simple thing to do is just to actually start at the chin with your hands in prayer move. And what we want to do is just slowly and deeply hug our face, and then opening our fingers, spreading them, continue all that, and really pull the hair as well until your fingers are kind of entwined, laced through the top of your head. And if you hold your hair, just give it a little pull, relax, pull, relax.
Oh, so good.
So good. And you can feel almost a sense of like fire in the scalp. Do you know what I mean? Like not burning, but like a fire. Like we're really starting to move some energy. And actually, I do this if I'm in the morning. I ground myself in the garden. So if you want to, after you've done your tapping, you want to do barefoot and get into the garden and just get yourself grounded so that you feel that the roots of your feet's going into the earth, and then draw the energy from the earth up through your legs into your hands, and then do that whole big hugging the face. What you're doing is you're pulling all that energy from the planet right in, and then it's coming up and out through the crown chakra. And just continue. It's such a lovely, simple. And also, when you hug the face, you're obviously activating these muscles here. It's a nice sweep. But that hugging motion tells you that you're safe and secure, and everything's going to be okay. So this is really good if you're struggling a little bit with anxiety or sadness or grief, or you're just feeling a little bit low and you're not sure where your day is going to go, or what happened yesterday maybe is a burden upon you today. Just say to yourself in that physical sense, I'm safe. And continue it up and really activate, because the stronger and the more you activate the scalp muscles, the more you're going to help with those contours and just keep this firmness. So that's another one.
Love that.
Yeah, it's so important. Just and we say it, don't we, all the time? Every single part of us is connected to every other part, all the way down to your toes. So be mindful. You know, take attention to that. And then the last thing I would say, and it is about the head, but what we're going to do is we're going to activate the muscles on the neck. Because when we hold all that physical and emotional tension and stress here and down into the neck and the top of the shoulders, it affects what's going on again up here. So I do this move a lot, and we'll do it again. And it's just about taking your hand, hugging the back of your neck, elbow out to the side.
Same side.
So just use the palm to get right onto the back of the neck. Elbow straight out, so you're opening up this lymph system. You're creating security in the back of the neck. Taking a nice deep breath in, you swing your elbow in front of you. Feel the pressure that you've created on the back of the neck. Drop the chin as you exhale out, and then slowly pull that hand down. And at the same time, just gently stretch the neck over. So you're really opening up this area. This helps with the muscles on the top of the head and the scalp as well.
So good. And it's amazing, isn't it? Just a couple of minutes of those. We often think, oh, we have to sit down, do a full head massage or full face massage. But a few minutes of those, because I didn't sleep very well last night. I had one of those nights, you know, where your mind's just going over and over. I was thinking about a new project I'm doing. And, you know, even in the night, you're saying to yourself, this doesn't matter. You're trying every technique in the book, but you know, actually, you're just going to feel tired the next day. So these techniques, even just doing these few techniques now, straight away, I feel that shift in energy.
You feel that liveliness.
That liveliness comes back, and it's amazing actually, because we're working with the head. But what I find often when I do that is it helps me actually get more into my body. You know, because the energy is shifted a little bit. Because I think particularly when we can't sleep very well, we are very in our head. You know, it's all about what's up here, and we're a bit disconnected with our body. But as soon as we get that energy moving, that circulation going, we just get a little bit more grounded in our body. And I love that idea that you said about standing in the garden. You know, if you live nearby a forest or by the beach or something like that, take your shoes and socks off and really just focus on, you know, that sense of grounding and that energy coming up from the earth and bringing it up into the head. And that's a great place to do your head massage. You know, again, even 30 seconds or a minute is enough.
Absolutely. It's so important. I think when we focus on the reality that we are of Earth, we're mankind, and we're here to enjoy and also embody all the energies of the Earth. And the Earth is a living, organic thing. So to use the energy from it and really kind of step into that super nature, which just is connecting with the planet and taking your shoes off and swaying and grounding yourself like a tree would and pulling that energy up, you really are going to, it will immediately shift you. Even if it shifts you into a sense of just being, that's perfect. and breathing, really breathing in. And who cares what other people think? If your only space to do that is in the park, do it in the park, because trust me, when people start seeing you do that, it's really addictive as well. Before you know it, you'll be in the park 2 days down and someone else will be doing it.
You've got a group of people. Exactly.
Right, so just embody nature and it will release, because we hold all our tension and stress physically. That emotional stress and trauma and grief is held physically. And when we start to just, shall we do the other side of our neck actually?
Yeah, let's do
while
that.
We're doing it. So again, just take a nice big deep breath in, grab the back of the neck, stretch the elbows straight out in front of you, open up the arm area. And then as you swing the elbow forward, feel the tension that you're creating, dropping the chin and exhaling out as you sweep, and really use some strength.
Yeah. Oh, so good. I'm laughing, Nicola, because someone's saying, did I do the cold shower challenge? That's very well remembered from our last live. I remembered this morning when I was in the shower, I thought, oh my goodness, I wonder if anyone will remember, because I have done it twice. So do you know what I did this morning? I did a cold blast for 30 seconds because I thought, I wonder if anyone will remember. And they have. So Nicola, I've done it 3 times. I've got to do it more.
Well done.
I will do it more, but that's what, 3 times in 5 weeks. That isn't probably very good. So I will get better.
You know what? I think well done for doing it 3 times in 5 weeks, because it's 3 times. I think that's the thing. It's just, it doesn't matter. Do it. And the more you do it, the more you will just automatically do it. I don't jump into a cold shower first thing. I have a nice warm shower first, and then I crank it as cold as I can possibly get. And it still shocks me, and I've been doing this for years, but it does, even in the evening, if I'm tired. Like, I didn't sleep last night either, because I'm also doing a new project, and my brain.
That's funny. We both were like that.
Honestly, it was like 2:30 a.m. in the morning. I'm like, can you please? Stop.
I know. And you try every technique. And this is what I was doing. So I was doing my acupressure, I was doing my Reiki, I was doing my breathing. And then do you know what I thought? I am just going to lie here, not do any of those techniques. And actually, if I'm tired tomorrow, so be it. I'll just get through the day, go to bed early, and it's absolutely fine. I think what the worst thing is not only thinking about that whole thing, but then thinking how much you've got to do the next day. So I was thinking, okay, I'm going live. I've got face yoga teacher training calls. I've got meetings. I've got to do filming. I was going through and thinking, oh, I'm going to look tired. And this was going through my head. And do you know what I thought? Who cares? And in the end, I mean, I don't think I had much sleep, a couple of hours in the end, but actually sometimes you actually just need to throw the techniques out the window and just go, who cares?
Absolutely agree. I did exactly the same, darling. I tried all my tricks and my hacks and my tips and what I do normally, or certainly what I tell people to do as well. And it wasn't working. I was like, enough, just enough, stop. Just stop. So I put an audiobook on, one that I've heard a million times, and I just kind of listened to a bit of it, and then I went. So I must have had 4 hours, which was lovely. But same thing as you. So sometimes, guys, you need to just let go as well and go, it's just too much. Just let me lie here, or have a hot shower, you know. That's your time to have that soothing warmth, maybe, as well.
That's so true. Well, there's loads of questions, Nicola, that people are asking. I've noticed actually quite a few people are asking when's best in terms of age to start doing face massage and face yoga at home. What would you say about that?
So I started massaging my face probably in my 20s, I would say. So, you know, a couple of years up into quite a few decades. So I think you can start at any time. Also, be very mindful that if you're in your 40s or your 50s or your 60s or your 70s, it's not too late. It's never too late to start a new adventure, or to start a new ritual and a new practice, because that in itself is very enlivening and positive and focused. So obviously if you're in your 20s, then great, start then. But
Yeah.
also if you're in your 70s and you haven't, and you think maybe something I can do, but I'm probably it's too late. No. I know some of the most beautiful, energetic, alive beings, women that are in their 70s and their 80s, that just started doing things like cold showering and massaging their face, and they look, it just, what it does is it just blossoms that inner light as well, and amazingly just makes you feel better. And great, it improves the contours, and aesthetically it's very pleasing, but it's about the inner challenges and the inner gratitude that you get from it. So whenever you like.
Start. I mean, the best time to start is now. It really is, you know.
There is
so
only
actually, now. There is only now. So, you know, if you're sort of 19, 20 watching this, or you're in your 80s watching this, just start from now. You know, it's never too late to lift and tone muscle. It's never too late to boost blood flow and circulation and get energy moving. It's never too late to release tension. It's never too late to calm the mind. And actually, I think it's important to say, and we say this often in our lives, you know, what we share is obviously about helping the skin to look good, but we're not trying to look 20 years or 30 years younger than we are. You know, I know for me, my aim, it always is just to look as healthy and feel as healthy as possible for the age I am at. You know, I'm not trying to look 20 years old when I'm almost 40. Actually, I just want to look healthy for almost 40, and feel healthy. And I think if that's what we go in thinking, then actually the results we're going to get are always going to be great, you know. And actually there's nothing wrong with some lines, there's nothing wrong with some wrinkles, there's nothing wrong with imperfections in the skin. It is normal.
It absolutely is. And I think once we start shifting the whole narrative around, in your 20s you look like this, in your 30s you look like this, in your 40s, your 50s, your 80s, your 90s, it's actual nonsense, actually, because as we said, there is only the now, and it's never too late to start and do anything. And the body is the most advanced piece of technology in the universe, and you happen to be inside it. So how phenomenal that you've got this intelligent vessel, and it will you can trigger the body to do almost whatever you want. You know, you can really shift and change your health and your vitality, and it's all about your mindset. So yes, it's just sweep away the, when I'm 50 I'm going to have wrinkles, when I'm 70 I'm not going to be able to move. No, just focus on the right now and how you are and where you're feeling, and then embody that whole physical movement and massage and yoga and anything else that works for you. Just got to work for you. And how beautiful to have lines and wrinkles and scars and freckles and whatever it is that we focus on as a negative, because the positivity of it is, it's part of your human experience.
It's part of the human experience. And, you know, we all have those moments when we do feel negative about ourselves, you know. And I think last week, and actually it's always interesting how it's a day or two before your period where you start to freak out about certain things. And last week I was sort of thinking, I wonder if people notice that thing about me, or look at that thing. And, you know, you suddenly get this narrative. And I know now the techniques to shift myself away from that, you know, to welcome those thoughts for a moment, be with them, and then let them go. But the point I'm making is actually it is so normal to have that. And I think particularly with us, because we see ourselves reflected back to ourselves on camera every single day, and you see yourself aging as well over the years. You know, we see it more than anybody. So we know that feeling, you know, more than maybe lots of people, and it's completely normal. And we do have moments where we freak out too, but it is just about how we then deal with those moments of freaking out.
It is. It's how you deal with it, and the narrative that you attach, and how you speak to yourself. I was talking about affirmations last week, and affirmations for me are a funny situation, because I think that if you consistently repeat an affirmation, it's almost like one of your girlfriends constantly repeating the same word to you, and after a while you don't listen. I think your body does that with regards to affirmations. Your mind is chattering the affirmation, your body's like, can't hear you, same, you're not
too much
to me. Whereas what I do now is I talk to my body.
Yeah.
I talk to my body, I talk to my cells, like you're gonna regenerate perfectly today. We're gonna be healthy. We're gonna, you know, just because your body is your best friend, right?
It is, absolutely. And I agree. And be quite intuitive about what you need that day. So it is great. I would say when you're starting off with positive thinking, then actually just having a set of simple affirmations can be helpful. So really simple things: I am healthy, I'm relaxed, I'm enough. And that's a great way to ease yourself into it. But I think once you do become very used to those things, then actually you're right, you can switch off a little bit. So you do need to change it up and switch it up. And rather than just saying I'm healthy, you know, like you say, talk to yourself, you know, my bones are strong, my muscles are helping me move, you know, and bring gratitude into it as well, and make it more of an organic conversation. But definitely I think affirmations are a good sort of starting point, but also a good, just quick, easy go-to. You know, sometimes it is great just to, you know, you're feeling down, okay, I'm feeling down, let's just go with that for a moment. Okay, I'm ready to get up from that, I'm feeling happy, and just say I am happy, you know. And you can just do it. That, to me, they're really good sort of quick fixes.
Great.
That you can pull in when you need to.
Yeah, and the I am is the important element of it. The I am.
Yeah.
That's it.
So powerful. We have so many questions about eyes actually today. So I've noticed actually 3 questions about eyes coming up. One about allergy season and anything to sort of help eyes with allergy. Also about puffiness under the eyes, and also sort of lines between the eyebrow area. So any tips on any of those that you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, allergies are the hardest, aren't they? And we are now stepping into allergy season. I would say, first and foremost, try things like natural honey from your local area. Start taking that in. Really easy things, or eating from your area. So try the farmers market if you can, just to because what you want to do is you want to consume produce from the area that you're living in, because the allergies are in the area that you're in. So you want to start working with the microbiome of your area if possible. Now, when we look at more of a physical, what we can do then, using things like very gently using cold spoons, the curved side of the cold spoon, and gently just working around the eye area. Yeah.
Or even gua sha, you can do, again, cold out the fridge, hold over your eye, hold under your eye. This is so good. That, and actually covers the puffy eyes and the allergies as well. And even the, sorry, I'm jumping in on your tips here, Nicola. No, and even using the end to do the little acupressure points. He is great for allergies. Also a little point on the nose bone here, or you can do it with finger and there as well. So these 3 points are great when you're going through allergy, sinus issues, sort of sore eyes, dry eyes, all of those help. Yes, that's
and then
a great
when
one.
you're doing this as well, the breathing. So as you're pressing onto this point, breathe in, and then as you release the breath. The same thing, breathing in. And when you release, and that will really open up this area. Now, a lot of the time our sinus issues will affect our eyes, and that will become the puffiness or the scratchy eyes, and when the air changes and the pollen in the air or whatever else is going on, the grasses even. So doing, like you said, those 3 pressure points there will help to clear that. Again, a little bit of massage. So you can use your fingers here. And I've done this one many times because it works. Index finger gently supporting the skin at the side of the eyes, taking the middle finger, and you can either tap, 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 tap underneath, so on top of the bone, so the outer contour of the eye, tapping. And then again, going up onto that muscle, pushing in on that muscle, and then a little bit stronger of a tap all the way around, gentle underneath, and then more pressure on top. The other thing you can do is you can make that a gliding, massaging motion. You can use this when you put your eye product on as well. And this will help the drainage, help the lymphatic system, helps to keep the whites of the eyes nice and sparkly, so you know it's clearing through the eyeball system. And then pushing up with more pressure, lifting that eyebrow. That will help to open up the eyes as well. And you really want to stimulate the function of the eyes. That will help to clear any grittiness.
That's really great tips. My husband suffers a lot with hay fever. I'm here in the UK in spring and summer, and two things that he really finds works well is local honey. So just a spoonful of local honey actually in the morning, it soothes the throat, but also it's a really great way of just reducing those hay fever symptoms. And actually a really simple tip as well, just getting a warm flannel wet with warm water and just laying it down over the eyes. And it's amazing that alone, just that little compress, that warm compress over the eyes, how much it can help with that itchiness in the eye area. But adding some massage in, cold spoons, cold gua sha is really lovely as well.
It's funny, I'll end
Yeah,
a little point on this and then we
please
can
do.
move on.
Yeah.
I was talking to a microbiologist because I'm in the middle of my studies at the minute, so I'm looking at microbiology, microbiomes right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you suffer from hay fevers and allergies,
Mm-hmm.
the tendency is to not go into your garden because you don't want to kind of activate anything and aggravate anything. But actually, if you very slowly start introducing yourself into your garden and just weeding, getting your hands into the soil in your garden space if you have one. So this is for people that have allergies that have gardens or can go into the park again and put barefoot in the park. But when you put your hands into the soil, you're talking to the microbiome of the area that you live in, and that helps to strengthen the microbiome of the body, and the chances are you alleviate your allergies, certainly for the seasons moving forward. So just a little tip from a microbiologist.
That's a great tip, and I had never thought of that before, so I love that. I will be passing that on to people. I think that's
get
great.
Your husband in the garden.
I will. Good excuse to get some gardening done. Amazing. We have questions about acne on the forehead area. Any tips, recommendations? This is a big subject. Lots and lots of tips with this. But do you want to give just a couple of simple ones for that one?
Yeah, I mean, acne is a huge subject, and I'm always a little bit apprehensive to give specific advice until I see the skin, or even if I can do it on this type of medium, and also have a questionnaire with you. So go through a certain set of questions, because there are so many different reasons for acne on the face, and especially up on the forehead. Depends on your age, depends on your situation, your stress. What I would say is be gentle on your skin, okay? But still get yourself into a really good skincare routine. So don't be gentle, but don't neglect. Don't think I cannot touch it because I'm going to aggravate it. Find a really good consultant or facialist or derm that will talk you through exactly the right products that you need for you. And if you've already got those products or you've had that, then you need to have that ritual, consistent routine with your skin. But understand that what's going on with acne, especially here, is normally the kidneys and the liver as well. So maybe that you need to maybe just detox. You possibly got a little bit of a hormone imbalance. Everything comes down to stress and hormone imbalances. Hormone imbalances are also triggered by stress, low vibrating emotions. If you're not feeling anything great, or if you're going through some tricky times, and your body can just be going through a cycle of change. So I'm a little apprehensive to give you, I can't just give you generic advice on acne because it's so personal. And if you do have something you want to speak to me about, then DM me, send me a picture, and then at least we can start a ball rolling there.
I completely agree. And if anybody wants to know a little bit more sort of wider advice, sort of step by step on the areas you talked about, there's a good episode. I can't remember which episode it is. The Face Yoga Expert podcast. I had an expert come on and talk through about all the different ways that we can reduce our acne. But just like you said, even by looking at all of those things, looking at our stress, looking at our diet, looking at our skincare, going through all of it, actually sometimes you do need to be actually checked out by someone one-on-one, a very good facialist. Go to a dermatologist. You don't have to suffer. I suffered terribly with acne into my teenage years, going into my 20s, you know, and if I'd known everything I know now, it maybe would have been a different story. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's not like we can say, okay, use this one product and that will sort your acne out, or do this one technique. You know, it very, very is multifaceted. And, you know, even if it is a great skincare routine, then actually, like you say, you need to look at stress and how that's affecting your hormones, because often hormones can be the root cause, whether it be teenage hormones, whether it be monthly, whether it be menopause, pregnancy. Stress can just put everything out of sync as well. So yeah, it's a big one. So many questions here. Okay, should we take two more questions? First question, someone's asking here about microcurrent devices, at home microcurrent devices. I've used two at home. I've used the New Face and I've used the Fraîcheur Bear. Personally, I much prefer the Fraîcheur Bear. I like the New Face as well, but I just like how it's got the T-sonic pulsations. I just find it easier and quicker to use. You can use it with the app. And again, on the Face Yoga Expert podcast, I've got an expert on microcurrent devices that comes on and talks through about all the pros and cons of that as well. So I like it. I probably use mine nowadays maybe twice a week. Yeah, I would say you don't need them. They're quite nice to use, but they need to be used with care, and there are certain conditions you can't use them with. What would you say about those?
I'd absolutely agree with you on every single point you mentioned. I also probably prefer the Fraîcheur one as well, actually, for the same reasons. I personally don't use microcurrent. I get sent lots. That's my preference out of the lots that I get sent, and I do try them. But again, yes, you have to really look at the specifics of them, why you're using microcurrent, really what your skin is like, and also all your personal, how your body works on a personal level. So the podcast episode is actually really good. Because it goes into deep details. So I think I would send you there because it'll allow you to listen to that fully and get the best information out of it. I don't mind them. I think they certainly have a place that they're sitting in within the beauty industry. But again, I think it's about being kind, gentle, and simple with your skincare, and understanding that your body will help you to create that normal, whatever normal is for you. And adding things like tools and gadgets are great, but also you don't need to either. But just if you're not sure, seek advice. Listen to the experts. It's 11:11. I love 11:11.
11:11. We had that last time as well. We're in alignment.
Yes, we are. So yeah, that's I kind of agree with you on that as well. Truly.
Absolutely. And again, you know, if anyone wants to DM and we can sort of spell those, or I can send you the podcast episode links, etc., etc. Okay, so let's take one more question. We've got a question about horizontal lines, which I presume is between the eyebrows. What's your favorite technique for between the eyebrows?
So a couple of really simple ones, and I think again you and I are pretty much in alignment with those. So it depends. So normally these lines are going up and down, and the reason they're going up and down is because you're using this muscle consistently, and the more you use it, the deeper the line becomes. And what we tend to do is kind of not massage out there. So what's happening is the muscle is getting really heavy, it's getting bulky. So there's two things you can do. You can take pinching the muscle with the thumb and the index finger and give it a nice squeeze. Don't over squeeze it, but you want to have a decent amount of pressure, and then just release. And you can do that a few times. And the other one that I like to do is, because the muscle here lies like this, so obviously you're frowning. So taking your fingers and just kind of walking and lifting, and you can get right in, because your fingers are that perfect size to get in between the bone and the eye socket, and you can go deep in there, and you're running, so strumming, and you're strumming along the eyebrow, and you can do that with both sides. So you're trying to flatten out. What you're trying to do is make that muscle nice and juicy and strong, but not heavy and crunchy. So you can just massage them out. Again, gua sha. I know you've got a gua sha tool there at hand, don't you? Mine's in my
So
fridge.
you can do the gua sha here, which is nice. And actually, going back to sort of acne prone areas, if you don't want to sort of work on very inflamed skin, press and hold, and actually just press and hold with the coolness. It's going to take down inflammation, particularly the rose quartz. Very good if your skin is very inflamed. And what that will do, and you can even sort of put it there, is it will also just really relax that muscle, because that's what we're talking about. You know, we hold so much stress and tension in those repetitive expression lines. So doing the massage, like you said, I really like this one. You know, the pinching here, or even the sort of 2 fingers and thumbs and sort of pinching there, you know, that all works lovely. And check yourself at points in the day as well. You know, glance in the mirror, don't be scared of the mirror, and notice, because we can often go around for hours pulling this area in and actually frowning, and just doing this, and even just doing this or pressing and holding that acupressure point, you know, that helps to calm the mind. We're working on that third eye point as well. So we're having so many benefits. And as long as your hands are clean, you know, you can just pick and choose these throughout the day. You know, if you feel tension and stress and frowning building up, hold, press, breathe. 30 seconds makes a difference.
A huge difference. And I'll tell you what else I find is, it's how you also hold your devices. So if you're holding a device, I have an iPad here, which is obviously bigger than normally we have a phone in our hand, don't we? So we hold our device here, and we're pulling down on the center section. So try and hold your device here, okay?
Exactly.
Because it changes the whole structure of how your muscles behave when you're reading or looking or watching something. When you're using the eye muscles and you're using the brain emotion reaction, you change the way you use this, because this just automatically you're frowning. And also sometimes it's because you need to go and have your eyes checked. Maybe you need glasses.
That's also true. Sometimes it can be as simple as that.
So use all of those tips and tricks, but this one truly will change everything for you. Just, I mean, when I'm traveling on the train, which I'm not obviously doing at the minute, but I have a holder so that I sit with my phone up like this if I'm doing any work.
That's a good idea. And how does it hold it? Does it go on the back of the seat in front of you?
No, it goes on the, so if you've got a little table that comes down, then it sits, it's got a sticky thing on it, and it sits on the table. And it just holds it. And it, honestly, I've seen a few people on the train, and my train driver said to me, excuse me, where did you get that? And it's like, it works. But you get ones that have got hooks as well that go on the back of the seat in front of you. So there's lots of ways, and it changes. Also, what it does is it changes all the neck muscles and the head muscles. Everything changes. Again, it's all connected.
It's all connected. Absolutely. Nicola, thank you so much for again just coming on live. It's so amazing. I mean, let's try and do it again in the next couple of weeks, because it's just so lovely and everyone enjoys you coming on so much. So a huge thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for all your questions. I love coming on with you. We have so much. I wish we could talk for hours, but we're both obviously busy doing other things as well.
I know. Let's do it again in the next couple of weeks. Even the next week or so would be lovely.
Yeah, for sure.
Amazing. Take care. Lots of love.
Bye, guys. Take care.
Bye. Bye.